How are you?
3,
2,
7,
9,
8.
5.
We back. We back. We back in this bitch again.
We're back.
We back.
Mm-hmm.
We back.
Yeah.
We back in this bitch again.
Say it again, Deric.
We back. We back. We back in this bitch again.
He said it. We're
we
back.
We back.
We back.
We back in this bitch again.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Sam? I like your sweater.
Thank you.
You look like Barney. Or like, not Barney, but you look like, very classy girl Barney dates.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Would you date him?
Barney?
Yeah.
No.
You would not go out on a date with Barney.
It would be complicated.
Why?
He has too many relationships with young children.
And he has that yellow dinosaur that he kind of fucks with.
BJ?
That's her name?
Oh, you're thinking of Baby Bop. Baby Bop's green.
Oh, Baby Bop's great. I thought she was yellow.
No, yellow is her brother, DJ or BJ.
Yeah, I like DJ. He's a boy?
He's a boy.
Oh, damn. Well, maybe they're gay.
It's possible. There's 3 of them. But they're also children. Barney's the only adult in the situation.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of kids. What about, would you date any of the Tubbies? Any of the Teletubbies?
Maybe Poe.
Poe could get it? That's the red one, right?
Poe's the red one.
Yeah, Poe could get it. Ain't nobody fucking with motherfucking...
Lala?
No,
No,
Lala.
Lala
No,
could get
Lala,
it.
no, the fucking pink
Oh,
purple one.
The Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky,
Yeah,
that
Tinky
nigga.
Winky. No.
Ain't nobody fucking Tinky Winky. Tinky Winky was the first transgender thing we'd ever seen in our lives. We didn't know what Tinky Winky was.
Tinky Winky really caused a stir.
Because it was like, is this nigga, is he gay? What is Tinky Winky's
People,
problem?
and also every adult in my church had opinions about Tinky Winky.
Because if you watch the show, Sam, he's the only one that you were like, yo, what's going on with, who's playing this guy? Can we look up who that actor was?
It was never about that. It was always like, and he has a triangle upside down, and that is a sign for homosexuality.
Ooh, that is a sign for homosexuality.
And also he was purple, which is apparently a sign for homosexuality, and he carried a purse. They were really upset about that.
Sam, homosexuality is bad. I don't know if anybody's told you.
Yeah, I was there for church. I know where they go.
Where they go? They go to hell. They go to hell. These motherfuckers going to hell.
Poor Tinky
Because they
Winky.
put things in their butts and they are cool with Tinky Winky. And God said,
But I never...
not coming to my party.
It's not like they speak.
No, it is not like they speak. That is true.
You know, like, the only thing that actually really speaks is the baby in the sky giggling.
Yo, that baby's fucking weird.
It's like...
That baby scared the shit out of me, dog. That baby scared the absolute shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. That baby was terrifying.
He seemed pretty
But
happy.
yeah, Poe was the only cool one. Poe looked like he wore Jordans and shit when he wasn't
Poe
on
didn't
camera.
seem like that.
But when Poe wasn't on camera, he wore Jordans. He got fresh ass haircuts. He had fresh jackets and pants and shit. He just that was his work. His job was the show.
Yeah.
But niggas didn't see off camera. It was Tinky Winky off camera that they were like, dog.
He's just a monster.
Yeah, he's just like doing blow off dudes' dicks and shit.
Yeah.
And people were like, bro, this fucking Teletubby money's going his head. He's buying extra of that Play-Doh shit they ate. He's buying like plenty of it and like throwing it away and not even giving it to other poor Teletubbies in the poor neighborhoods. Because they were high class Teletubbies.
Oh, so there were other Teletubbies in this.
Yeah.
These are just the famous ones.
Yeah, there's Teletubbies that fucking that are poor, broke as shit, nigga, and
geez.
struggling, nigga, can't get no paste.
And they're just trying to get their rap album
They ain't got
out
no
there.
cool album. You know what I'm saying? They don't get enough baby son.
They don't get any baby son?
They don't get enough of it because they live in a different, darker world. Niggas ain't talking about that, bro. But I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. I ain't scared. I ain't scared, Sam, of what they gonna do to me.
Yeah.
I just get shot.
No, Deric!
Would you be sad?
I would never talk about Teletubbies again.
The rest of your life?
I'd be like, that's off limits.
God, you'd be like, what's her name in Jumanji? Like that game. I'm not playing that game.
No. I would. Well, also, you know how like some comedians have lines like they don't want to joke about, like some female comedians don't want to joke about like female stuff because you're like, I'm a girl and I don't want to joke about that. Or, like everyone has a line that they don't want to cross. Mine would be Teletubbies.
Yeah, don't fuck with them, bro. You look like one today though, so that's fire. I like your outfit.
I don't look like a Teletubby.
Yeah,
There's no magenta Teletubby.
Bro, that's purple. You look
This
like
is 100% magenta.
Bro, you don't know colors though. That's purple.
Yeah, he doesn't know colors.
Sam, you can't see. You blind.
I can see things, just not far away.
What would you call that?
Nearsighted.
I call it blind.
Call it nearsighted.
I say it's a motherfucker that can't see shit.
It's not true.
You know?
I can see your face.
How I look.
It's all right.
Today, huh?
Yo, he can't grow facial hair.
I can't grow facial hair. I don't know what happened to me as a child. I think all the whoopings. I'm going to blame my parents. That's what kids do, right?
That's what they do.
I'm going to blame you, mom and dad. You beat me too much and my facial hair said, we're not coming out. We're getting our ass beat all the time. No, that can't be it. I don't know. My dad has facial hair.
Your dad does have facial hair.
Yeah, but he gets just this. But I don't even get that. I just get right here, a little bit, and then right here. And it took forever to even grow that. And then I have no hair on my legs.
You don't have any hair on? You have hair on your legs.
Barely.
It's like all on your butt.
On my hair?
Yeah.
It's all on my butt.
All your leg hair is on your butt.
And then my head, I got plenty of hair.
Yeah. Plenty of hair. Oh my God.
You like it?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna put this back on you so they don't have to look at it.
What do you mean? She said she's gonna put it back on me so y'all don't have to look at my bald head. They didn't hear you. They didn't hear you. What I said. Sam's been fucking excruciatingly mean to me since I got my haircut, and before, and always since we've been together. If I'm
I feel like you need to know that I'm gonna be mean to you. That's how I express love.
That's not how you express love. I see you be nice to everyone else but me.
Who?
Everyone else?
Nah.
That's so true. Everyone thinks you're all sweet.
And they don't really know me.
No one knows you.
You get to know me.
But you're the worst. She's a monster, guys. Help me.
Relationships are great.
No, they're scary. They're scary. Speaking of relationships, let's get into today's movie.
Wait, well, we have a relationship we need to bring up.
I know, because we do. We also, hey, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Is it Valentine's Day?
It's the day after.
Oh, it is the day after.
Yeah, it's the day
because
after.
It's on a Sunday?
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys spent it with your loved ones.
That's why I wore this shirt.
That's why she wore that. That's why I chose the movie that we're watching today, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Ooh.
And I hope you guys spent time with your loved one, man. The person that you like insert and exert your genitals into.
Or if you choose not to express it that way, like however you love.
Well, whoever you like, because you're right. I guess some kids just like another kid, and they're not doing that yet. It's just pure like.
Yeah, I don't know.
You want to get? Do kids still do that? Do kids still get Valentines from other kids?
Of course they do that.
That was a big deal.
It's like virtual now, though.
Yeah, it's virtual now. Remember how big of a deal that was, though, getting Valentine's Day things from other kids?
Oh, yeah, or if you didn't get anything.
Oh, if you didn't get anything. That was brutal. That ever happened to you?
No. Oh, yeah, I didn't go to elementary school. I remember I was homeschooled back then.
But back then, did you get... Wait, so even from home, none of your brothers hooked you up?
Yeah, but that didn't really mean anything. It was just kids in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
Being in school made you need to get Valentines, because I remember when I went to school, like for middle school and high school, that's when they were doing like you get a carnation and it would get sent to you.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get any carnations, you were a total loser.
Ooh. You know what? That's why I loved going to Christian Brothers High School, all boys school. That's out of the equation.
That would still be a problem if it was an all girls school.
Why do you think?
Because girls were sending each other carnations.
Oh, girls are evil like that. See,
yes!
dudes ain't doing that.
It's not evil. It's just the society has.
You guys want to you guys have to let other girls know that they're not y'all. Like, it's this thing. Like, dudes don't have to do that. Some dudes do. But every girl, there is something it has to be known that will, like, hey, like, she's all right. She's on my level. She's on my level. She is not on my level. And that needs to be known that that's a different kind of girl, not on my level, not my kind of girl. And it's like, whoa. Interesting. Because, like, why would you do the carnation thing to other girls? It's like, that's ridiculous.
What it's like? It's like
just to be mean.
It's like when girls go to parties and they say, don't bring anything, and then they still bring, like, a bottle of wine or something.
That's fine. That's nice.
It's the same thing, though.
But that's nice when somebody brings a bottle of wine.
Yeah, it is. But what happens when you don't bring a bottle of wine?
Nothing happens.
Something happens.
Nothing happens. So that's how y'all live. You guys are crazy people. You hold insane grudges. That's why Kill Bill is a woman, because, man, the grudge that bitch held. You know what I mean? And
she delivered.
She did. She delivered.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about someone else who delivers.
Every fucking Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Sometimes
Thursdays.
And sometimes, ooh, my baby said, and sometimes on Thursdays. My nigga delivers every Sunday, sometimes on Thursday, and don't let it be a Monday, because he'll deliver on that.
Oh, yeah.
Too. You know what I mean?
Delivering.
He delivers on all those are the Lord's days. Because why? That's when football happens.
And that those correlate. football and God.
Football, God. And you know who is a God in my world? Because we're all gods. And he's also a God. Mr. Darren Bates.
D Bates.
DarenBates at Westlandson _56. Darren Bates on Instagram. DBTray5 on Twitter. Go follow our boy. Go show him some love, Bean Mafia. Go show him some love. Tell him what, Sam?
Tell him the Bean sent you.
Tell him the goddamn Bean sent you his way.
Listen to his podcast.
What's it called?
The Raw Room.
The Raw Room with special guests like myself and all kinds of other famous NFL athletes. But mainly me. Mainly me. That's what's most important is Deric. I don't give a fuck if he gets Guy Fieri on that bitch. I'm the most important guest. It's all about Deric. I'm bald head now, baby. I got special bald head privileges.
He's a heel now.
I'm a heel, bro. I'm living my life like Michael Jordan in The Last Dance, episode 5. Come fuck with me. Anyway, go follow our boy.
You call him Darren Bates.
Follow Darren Bates. He is a good guy. He's a sweetheart. He's actually a great follow.
He's a great follow.
He's
Lots of
legit.
tattoos.
A lot of tattoos. He has some awesome tats. But he plays in the fucking league, man. And he's played it for fucking going on to 10 seasons. Show the love that deserves. That's a fucking that is an insane feat.
Not everyone gets to do that.
No one does.
It's like him and Tom Brady.
It's him and Tom Brady. They're both old. Those are the oldest two niggas I know. It's Tom Brady, then Darren Bates. Those are the two oldest people on earth. Mm-hmm. So go follow that fucking dinosaur and show him some love because he's still kicking ass. Yeah. Sammer Jammer?
Yes.
I think you're good looking.
Thanks.
Happy Valentine's Day. I didn't tell you yesterday.
It hasn't happened yet. You could tell me yesterday.
I know it hasn't happened, but in their world, it was like, oh, he didn't say it yesterday. I didn't tell her, but I won't tell her just so this joke lands.
Okay.
But happy Valentine's Day, boo. And the movie I picked today, as the clocks strike noon, as the clocks strike noon in Leo's cabin. Yo, this nigga has so many clocks. Who is that like, who's like, yo, I need to make sure I know every 15 minutes. Why? Because just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case if niggas are like, hey, what time is it? It's like, oh, well, the clocks just went off. So it's 2:17.
What if one of your clocks stops? Now you have like 4 other backup clocks.
Yep. And those are just the regular clocks. Now, we're not including the
birds
the
and the frogs.
And the bird clock, frog clock, bear clock, duck clock. And, of course, the bee clock, which you're like, wait, there's 12 different bee sounds? Oh, there's 30 different bee sounds. There's a different bee sound for every second. every single increment of time is a different bee sound. And trust me, he made us learn them all, or else we couldn't hang.
We couldn't stay here.
He said, "You guys want to stay with me?
You learned the bee sounds.
Go figure out how every bee." But it's funny. No, Well, I can't wait till you guys to see him. One day he'll pop up.
Actually, he's apparently his ghost is around.
Yeah, his
sometimes.
ghost. Yeah, when you guys see that ghost go by in the back.
That's him.
That's him. But I'll let you guys see. He's the fucking shit, dude. I love her uncle. He's the man. Leo. Shout out to Leo. He's a good guy. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to fucking Leo, man. He's awesome.
He's Bean Gang.
Bean Gang. He is Bean Gang. He's fucking Bean Gang. Yo, Sam.
Yes.
I did this movie for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell me what you think happens in this Valentine's Day after? Well, it's the day after, but who gives a fuck? It's Valentine's Day in our hearts, right?
Is it?
Extravaganza episode.
Okay.
The movie you've never seen, because that's the point of the pod. I'm about to tell you this movie.
Is this one of the ones that you were asking me if I'd seen yesterday?
Nope.
There were like 20 different
rom-coms,
movies.
But I know that was just to throw you off the scent. I already knew what I was doing before.
What?
And now I have all those extra movies.
Wow. Okay.
That's good. I need rom-coms. That's the only thing. Sam hasn't seen all the big action movies, and trust me, guys, we'll get to some of the movies that you guys like asked me for. There's like it's like 400 on the list, and there's so many things to do, and it's like, man, you want to save some monster movies for when there's new listeners on episode 500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to spread it out.
We want episode 500 people to still be like, damn, that bitch ain't see that, and it's like, no, that bitch did not see that.
Yes.
Samantha, what happens in Obsessed?
Oh, because we saw Allie Larder in Varsity Blues.
I know, back to back, Allie. Allie, you owe us money.
Allie, you
We're
do owe us money.
Repping you right now.
Okay, so Beyonce and Allie Larder
Ooh.
I do know something because this was I remember this era of movie. This was the same movie. Yeah, I don't need to know the year. I can tell you.
I don't need to, Deric. I know this. You're like the lady in Titanic.
This was the same year that Shia LaBeouf movie happened, where he was sitting on his roof
in the house. I love that movie.
Yeah, what was that called? Suburbia. Yeah,
Suburbia.
That was like the theme song.
Bum bum be dum bum 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 bum. I see you in the pond and I'm talking to you. But yeah, that was the same time. Those movies, and they're the same, and they're awesome.
Because I think
director
probably the same director. Because I remember I went to see that movie, the Shia LaBeouf movie, and they were advertising this movie.
Ooh.
And that's why I remember the movie, but otherwise I don't know anything about it. So
tell me what happens in your Obsessed.
In my Obsessed, Allie, I can't even remember who's with who. Okay, Beyonce and Idris Elba are a married couple. And the neighbor, Allie Larder, maybe like she's a widow or something like that.
Ooh, that adds some depth to her character.
Yeah.
Now you feel bad for her a little bit.
You feel bad for her a little bit. So they're kind of helping her out because she's a widow.
Yeah.
And then she like falls in love with Idris Elba. And then she wants to like kill Beyonce. And
oh, that's scary. Oh my God.
That's not what happened?
Really, no, that's not what happens at all.
That seems like exactly what they were advertising.
Your movie's way better. That's way dark because also now I feel for...
Oh.
I never thought of it like that. Like, if I felt something for the other person.
Like maybe they were like, Idris was like trying to console her and then she like felt something for him. Also, your emotions when you've lost a husband are really like intense. Or anyone.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So maybe those feelings get put onto Idris because he's so kind and nice.
He's this really good husband.
And then Beyonce's just in the way.
Yeah.
And then like it's a thriller, like she's gonna kill Beyonce, and then Beyonce's like a badass bitch and like ends up killing her in the end.
Whoa.
And then Idris is like, because he's a great actor. Yeah. He's gotta carry the whole movie.
Dude, that's a good Obsessed. Your Obsessed is way better than Obsessed.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Are you excited to hear it now? Because
now
at least you don't know it.
Because it was like, I'm pretty sure I know what this movie's about.
No, the moment I start saying it, you're going to be like, oh, you're going to sum up the movie in 2 seconds. You're going to sum it all. But I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about the joyride. It's
about the joyride.
Hey, when you come up to a roller coaster, Sam, and I don't even ride roller coasters, but you see all the loop-de-loops and the turns.
You know what's going to happen.
But you got to ride it yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy.
You got to just enjoy this ride. But you're going to know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Because, whoever wrote this, you're a human who's like, I've seen every trope ever, But let's enjoy. Guys, let's enjoy. Let's not judge, right? We don't judge on the Bean Mafia, though, on movies. We watch movies.
We do watch movies.
We watch and enjoy movies. Now, we might talk some shit, and the director and the writer should be able to take it.
They can handle that.
You should be able to fucking take it. That's on you. You're a fucking human being. Sweet music plays. Credits roll. Mm-hmm. We see an Escalade pull up to a nice house that says sold. Mm-hmm. All right. We see our boy, the beautiful. This is 2009, just so you can picture what they look like. Idris and the queen, dog. The queen. I mean, she is the queen. Let's keep it 100. Queen B.
Queen B.
Queen B is in this. They have a young baby boy.
Oh, they have a baby?
They have a baby.
Okay.
Like a 1-year-old. Mm-hmm. Like a baby. Credits roll. They go into their new nice house. They're walking around so happy as music plays, making each other laugh. Like, you can't hear them, you hear the music, but you see them, and they're just this perfect couple.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Idealistic.
Look how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just how they look. It's like, yo, get out. Who is this?
Yeah.
So, credits keep rolling. They go up to their attic at one point. They notice there's weak spots in the floor, right? They come down. They're still laughing. They come to their bedroom, the master bedroom. There's a mirror on the ceiling.
Whoa.
I know. Right? And they talk of like, she's like, she's like, we got to get this down. We'll do it. And he's like, oh, come on, girl. Like, what you mean we got to take it down? Like, this is fun. And then he gets her on the floor, and then she's like, they have an hour before the movers come, and then you find out his name. She goes, oh, Deric.
That's your name.
Oh, Sam, is it? I'm glad you know it. That's your name.
Is that why you like this movie?
No, I don't like this guy's a fuck. This guy. Oh, this guy, dude. This fucking guy. But I kind of get this guy because I am this guy. I am this Deric. So I do get, but I'm like, dude. Okay. Anyway.
Maybe learn something.
Maybe. You're not Beyonce, just so you know. No, in real life, you're Beyonce. Hey, baby. Of course. Guys, come on. You all know she's Beyonce.
Thank you, baby.
She's Beyonce in real life. But in this movie, Beyonce.
My Ally Larder?
You're way more Ally Larder.
Really?
Yeah, of course. But you know what I mean? But Beyonce in this movie, she's still Beyonce. It's like Lion King.
Oh, she's
or
still,
Austin Powers.
She's still a girl from Houston.
And I'm a whole lot of woman.
Yeah, yeah.
She's that girl from Houston.
I'm still bae from Houston.
From Houston. They want me to play this other person, but I won't.
Because I'm going to tell them where I came from. I'm from Houston.
That's Beyonce, dog. So they have sex.
Oh, boy.
Okay. You see them fuck. And then that Black and Gold song, I don't know if you remember this song, but it was a hit back then, and I liked it back then. You're not even there. And the stars don't even matter. I want to be next to you. Black and gold, black and gold, black and gold, black and gold. You don't remember that song?
I don't remember that song.
That was a huge hit at that time. I do. Okay. And the soundtrack of this movie is fucking unbelievable, bro.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's Beyonce. You think she would?
Oh, yeah, she would. Yeah, what am I talking about?
They would never.
Wait, is it a Beyonce song? Black and Gold?
No, this is just a song.
Okay, I don't remember that at all.
I forgot the guy's name. But it was big. I remember the girl who got me on it in college.
Was that someone
in
like
Bellhaven.
who had a bunch of other songs at that time?
No, I had never heard of him. This is the first time I heard of him. And I don't remember if it was before Black and Yellow or after.
Black and Yellow,
Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what it is.
So he's in the elevator at work. You see him going up. It's a bunch of people. It's like clearly a big office building, big city. I don't know. I can't remember if they're in New York or Chicago.
Does he have suspenders?
No. He's in a nice suit.
Okay.
But he looks good. I mean, he looks like Idris Elba in a suit.
Thank you. That was a nice thought.
Little thicker back then, and not like fatter.
Ooh,
I mean, like little more muscular. Now he's a little more. You can tell he's slimmed down. He's a little more like, hey, he can still play a buff guy, but if you want him to like, hey, we need you skinny, he could do it. He could. It'd be whereas in this position it would be a lot harder. There's just a lot more muscle on him.
He was a little like. He had more chest before.
Whereas, I mean, now he looks more like. I mean, he just didn't. You can tell he's like, all right, I'm not gonna not be fucking ripped. I'm just not gonna be
beefy,
muscular. Like it's all like huge. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But he's still a big guy though. I'm not gonna fucking take it away from him.
He's really tall too.
Yeah, and he's tall and he's got the big shoulders, but he has lean. It's more lean now.
It is.
Yeah. Like if he needed to, if they were like, hey, we need you to like lose weight and like be sick in this big kind of movie, you could tell he has the body now.
It could just be that he's older.
He could do it.
Sometimes when you're older, you just thin out more.
You thin out and maybe you just lift weights. You work out differently too.
Yeah.
That guy definitely works out.
Well, your body, like it just the fat and the muscle attaches differently.
That's true. Anyway, he's in a
science.
That is science. That's Sam Science. Sam Science, the science lady. Sam. Okay, this movie, obsessed. Aren't you obsessed with it?
We're never gonna finish this movie.
No. He's in the elevator at work. Everyone gets off. This beautiful white girl stays behind.
Is it Ally Larder?
It's Ally Larder.
Hell yeah.
She's hot too.
She is hot.
She's hot. She was hot in the other movie, but she's hotter in this.
I don't think there's ever been a movie that she's been in where the whole point of her being in it wasn't that she was hot.
Yeah.
She always played the hot girl.
She did. Good. Also good for her. 10 years later, we're doing back-to-back Ally Larder movies. But it's not like, we did like that in her like era. Like, no, these are 10-year apart movies.
And still just as hot.
And this movie destroyed the box office.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people
17% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I disagree.
17?
Bullshit. I say this is a 75% movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
But sometimes people, like, when they don't like a movie, they're like, I can't just be honest and be like, it's an F. I have to be like, no, it's at 0%.
Yeah, it's like 17%. Come on.
It's like, yeah, anything under 60 is failing either way. So why are we going so crazy?
Why are you like, it's like, unless it was that bad of a movie. Like La La Land to me is 0%. That's a terrible film.
I did not like that movie.
I'll give it 55, 60 because of the dancing and the production, because that was amazing. I'm not gonna act like there weren't beautiful numbers.
Yeah, but if that's what's the point of the movie, put actors in the movie that do that.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And so it's like Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
It fucking made $1 billion. It was fucking trash. But again, is it a 0? Is it a 17%? No, it's not a 17%. Beauty and the Beast is like I said, like 60. Like like you said, once it's an F, it's an F. Why am I shitting on you?
Yeah, why are we making
and
it more
you're
than
like,
it is?
oh, you're not even worthy of a 20.
No.
It's like, everybody's still trying in this movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, it's
other than the writers,
a great cast. Yeah, it's not the people in the movie's fault.
Yeah,
Maybe
it kind of is. It kind of is.
Maybe
it kind of is.
I haven't seen this movie.
I got it. All right. Okay. God, look at me. I fucked
You
up.
like scrolled all the way down.
Because you made me laugh. You don't make me laugh, Sam. Stop being pretty and making everybody laugh. It's not nice. Be a sign. Be ugly and make everybody go, shut up, you Muslim.
Was that what was happening before?
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at the comments.
Like, that Muslim keeps not. And it's like, whoa, other Muslims are saying that? So, he's in the elevator at work. Everybody gets off. This is the beginning of the movie still.
Yo. And we've even stopped seeing the credits.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone gets off. All right. You see the beautiful girl, Ali Larder, with her long legs. They're both headed to floor 22. And
that's a long ride.
That's a long ride. He goes, you have an appointment with us today, ma'am? Because he notices she's going there too. And she goes, she's holding like papers and shit. She goes, I look like a client? And he laughs. He's like, you kind of do. She's like, I'm actually a temp. And he goes, wow, temp? And she's like, hey, girls got to pay rent. And he's like, I'm not judging. Like, okay. And then she drops all the papers. And then, of course, he reaches down to help, and they
touch hands.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
He hands her the stuff. And then she's like, thanks, I owe you one. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. So he starts walking to his office, and she's following him. And he's like, you following me? And she's like, no, I'm taking this to Mr. Charles' office. And he goes, oh, that asshole? And she's like, oh, really? And he's like, don't tell him I said it, but that guy fucking sucks. And then she's like, oh, wow, okay. And then right when you see him. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. So you see him like pass his assistant and say, "Hey, Patrick, if my wife calls, she's definitely gonna be pissed at me because I left her in on moving day. It's like she's pregnant, just had a kid by herself, and I came to work. So if she calls, I'm in a meeting." And the Patrick guy's like, right, hold up, because he said it because you're right. You're like, oh, but then the Patrick guy goes, "Hey, she had this job before me. She knows every time I'm lying about stuff." And he's like, you're right. Like, and they like. Oh,
so she was a secretary.
She was a temp too. She was a secretary. I'm sorry, a secretary as well.
Okay.
That he married just recently.
Weird.
Okay. So, but this is all important information.
Okay.
So, he goes in his office, and then she walks up and she goes, for Mr. Charles? And she goes, oh, and she goes, is that him? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, ah. And then she's staring at him, and then he goes, the guy's gay. He goes, girl, he's married. Like, relax. And she's like, the good ones always are. Okay.
Ugh.
So he has a meeting with these two actors you recognize. One is the younger guy, and the other guy is like his boss, kind of. And it's the dude from Law Abiding Citizen. You ever seen that movie? We did it on the pod. I don't know if you watched it with me, though.
I think I've...
With Jamie Foxx and
I didn't see that.
Leonidas?
No, I didn't.
It's a fucking great movie. Damn, I hate that I already did it on the pod. Now I can't do it with you, but it's awesome. I'll just show it to you. I guess I can just show it to you like a normal person. Like a regular human being, huh? I don't have to explain it to you. So he's talking to these guys, and the white girl walks by, like the glass windows in this nice office. Like, this is clearly like nice, high money job, whatever they do,
Well, if he's meeting with actors, is he meeting with them like as their agent?
No. I'm saying you'd recognize these actors. They're all playing this big business, high tech, whatever they're doing.
Okay.
But they're all doing very well. Like, when you see the house that they're moving into, it's like really nice. You know what I'm saying? So the bosses are like, damn, new eye candy. And then they're like, yeah, Deric married the last piece of eye candy that was around here. And he's like, fellas. And they're like, oh, come on. We love Sharon. So that's Beyonce's name.
Sharon?
Yo, it's Queen Bee, dog.
Why did they do her like that?
Deric and Sharon.
Make her name like
Cleopatra.
Or Jade. Or
ooh, I like Jade. She should be Jade.
Yeah,
or Jada.
Or Jada. Or like just something else.
A little more spicy. Yeah, Sharon, huh?
Or
was this movie written for Sharon Stone and they couldn't get her? And they were like, oh, let's keep it.
They were probably saying, like a Sharon Stone type, but black. So Beyonce.
So he leaves for home. He does all day's work. And his homie's like, hey, let's go. I got like 2 Lakers tickets, like courtside or whatever. Come on, come with me. And he's like, I can't. He's like, come on, dude. He's like, hey, man, I got the 1-year-old at home. I've left her at home all day with the mover people. Like, you trying to get her be a divorce already? Like, I got to go home.
I hate this guy.
Why,
this is who you are? This is you?
Yeah, I'm sweet.
But this all like, I gotta do this.
No, I would never say all that. I would definitely go to the Lakers game.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I would call and see what kind of day you had. I'd be like, hey, my homie just offered me courtside. But I talk to you like that. I'd be like, hey, homeboy just offered me courtside tickets, but I ain't gotta go because I know you've been at home with the 1-year-old and you've been at home with the movers all day. How do you feel? Like, do you want? Can I go? Like, how do you feel? And then if you were like, even if you were like, oh, I mean, go, but I mean, then I'd be like, oh, it's not a big. Like, I'd come home.
Isn't he sweet?
You'd have to be like, oh, go. Is there an extra one? Can I come? Can we get a babysitter?
Can we both go?
I
want to go.
And then I would be, me, I'd be like, oh, I'd ask and we'd figure that out, But if he was like, oh, there's only 2, and then you were like, oh, then I still wouldn't go.
You're so sweet.
I would definitely, but it's just communicate.
Communication, guys.
Like, that's why I don't get like,
but
oh,
also
just call her.
I don't like the way that they're talking about her in the first place. And like,
she don't like that her name's Sharon.
I don't like that her name's Sharon. I don't like that she was the last piece of eye candy he had married. And
she was just a secretary.
I just hate this whole storyline. It's so icky.
Yeah, I told you your movie was way deeper.
Yeah, mine was way deeper. What is happening here?
So, as he's leaving, the white girl, says, bye, Mr. Charles. And then he laughs. And she's like, you really set me up earlier. And he's like, hey, come on. And she goes, by the way, I asked about you. And everyone says you're the nicest guy in the whole firm. And he's like, I got him fooled. And that I would say things like that. Yeah. And then she's like, I'm Lisa, by the way. And he goes, nice to meet you, but Lisa, by the way, I got to go. And then he kind of runs off because he was already kind of like heading fast. And he leaves, right? And then as he leaves, you see she looks him up on the computer and just starts reading all about him. He's very successful. So he's Idris Elba.
Of course.
So she's on his IMDb.
Oh,
she was like, oh, shit.
Wow.
I got to fucking hook up with this guy.
Oh, he had a whole career in England before this?
Damn. He's in the Thor movies?
What?
So he gets home. He's great. He changes diapers. He's just clearly a great husband. There's still boxes everywhere, and he sits with his wife, and they're drinking a bottle of champagne celebrating the new house that they moved in. And then Beyonce asks for more sex. And he's like, Sharon, you're so bad. And she's like, that's why you married me, honey. I'm Beyonce, and I'm a whole lot of woman, sugar. Yeah, she said that like 30 times. Well, at least in my version, she does. So they laugh. The next morning, he sees Lisa again, and he's not expecting to see her.
Why would she not be there?
Because she's a temp.
Oh, they only come one day?
Yeah, they come and they fill in when they need to. They send them everywhere. It's like a service.
I only experience with temps is on The Office, and he was there the whole time.
He was there the whole time. It's funny. The Office comes up in here later, and I'll explain to you why. It's interesting.
Oh, funny.
So and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, hey, I'm your assistant for the day. Your assistant was out with the flu. And she said, I hope you don't mind. I traded some desks to get yours.
Huh.
And he's like, all right, that's fine. Pen and pad, follow me. Like, he's like,
okay,
let's go, business. And then she gives him the memo for the Christmas party, and he's like, wow. And then he's like, oh, it's already that time, huh? And she sits down, and you see her legs, and she looks good.
Oh,
she looks good.
She does look good. I can imagine.
She goes, why don't they invite spouses to the party? I'm curious. And he's like, oh, it's like that for a lot of companies, so people can just get more loose and just be around office people, and your spouse isn't there, And she's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, all right, let's get right to work. And then right when he says first things first, she goes, oh, I already did that. And he goes, what? And she goes, sent flowers to your wife. You send flowers to your wife every week, right? Every Monday, the first day of the week. And he's like, or every Tuesday, whatever it was. And he's like, yeah, I do. And she's like, yeah, I talked to Patrick. I got all that stuff done. And then she tries to like ask him more questions about like his marriage. It's like, so how long you been married? He's like 2 years. She's like, wow, you still send flowers every week? And he's like, yeah, it's a tradition. She's like, oh my God, what a sweet guy. And he's like, all right. And he cuts her off, like gets back to work.
Who sends flowers every week?
This guy. He's the sweetest guy ever. He's me.
I don't believe this guy.
It's me.
He's a liar.
You think I lie?
Yes.
Wait a minute. You think I lie?
If I know anything is certain, it's that you lie.
Wait a minute. If there's any certainty in the world, it's that I'm a liar?
I believe it's more certain that you lie than that you never lie.
I never lied to this girl, y'all. I've still never lied to this girl
I'm saying
once.
in general.
No, I've never lied to you.
Okay.
In general, yes, I lie.
He lies a lot.
It's more fun that way. But I've never lied to you.
Okay.
So he finds out she's extremely efficient, though. Like, she's all over the job, right? And he's like, damn, you're not the typical temp. And she's like, I think you'll find I'm not a typical temp at all. Like that. And he's like, all right. Cut to later. He's talking to his wife. And she's listening in on the convo. Now, at this point in the movie, you're supposed to think like, oh, she's supposed to be doing that, right? But now that I've seen The Office, I'm like,
no, she's not supposed to do that.
No, they do, because I've seen that's what Pam does. She listens in on the call.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to do that.
But they do in those shows.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to. Just because they do doesn't mean they're supposed to do it.
Okay, well, I guess she's not supposed to do it. They seem like in the office that Pam's supposed to do that.
Maybe.
So, cut to that night, Idris getting ready for bed, shirt off. Amazing bod.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing bod. Beyonce starts talking about going back to school and all the classes she wants to take. She wants to get her degree. And he's like, oh, come on, I'm making enough money now that you don't have to do anything. Like, period. Like, you know, and he's like, I thought that's what the plan was to be a mom. And she's like, come on, boy. I want to go back to school. I'm Beyonce. And I'm a whole lot of woman, sugar.
I got a big brain, too.
I got a big brain and a big butt. This ain't just bootylicious. It's brainalicious. You know? He's like, okay.
It's brainalicious.
And then she goes, hey, by the way, why didn't you call me back today? And she's like, I left you a message. And he goes, what? And she was like, yeah, I needed your help with something, and you never called me back. He's like, oh, God, Patrick was gone. We had a new temp today. And then she said, Shannon called but didn't leave a number. And he goes, she must have just fucked it up. And she's like, oh, okay, wow. And she goes, and she's a woman? He said, this is a young girl, right? And he's like, yeah, it's a young girl. And she's like, well, I want her fired immediately. And then they both laugh, right? They both laugh and joke. So at work the next day, Sharon stops by. Lisa's still temping. Homeboy's still sick. Sharon says, hey, I'm stopping by to have lunch with you. I'm taking Kyle on it. Like, they got the baby there too.
Their kid's name is Kyle?
Kyle.
What did who wrote this movie?
This woman's child's name is Blue in real life. Kyle?
Also, it's like the names of the actors you chose. Idris
Elba is Deric, which is awesome.
Beyonce
is Sharon.
What's the name of the actor who played Kyle?
Little Shavante Shedd. little Shavante Shedd. All one word. And he's Kyle. I mean, Ali Larter's name is Lisa.
That's close.
So they're eating lunch, right? And Lisa comes in with coffee. And, you know, she's like, hey, Idris is like, hey, Lisa, this is my wife, Sharon. Sharon is Lisa. And then Lisa bends down. She's like, wow, and this must be little Kyle, right? And she's like, oh, my God, he's definitely going to be a heartbreaker. He's so handsome, just like his father.
Ugh, she's awful.
Yeah, and then Sharon looks, of course, Beyonce does the like a laugh like that. And then she's like, man, the three of you guys are a perfect family. You guys should be on a magazine. You know, by the way, I'm learning so much from your husband. And she's like, I bet you are. Well, it's so nice to meet you, Sharon. And she's like, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Nice to meet you too, Liz. It's Lisa.
Ooh.
Oh, Lisa. Sorry. Yeah, Lisa. And then she walks out and Beyonce's like, okay, Sharon. Like back to Idris. And Idris is like, oh my God. She's like, what's her deal? And he's like, look, come on. And she's like, ooh, handsome, just like you, Deric. And then she's like, when's Patrick coming back? And he's like, tomorrow. And she's like, you better hope so. Because I'm Beyonce.
And I'm a whole lot of woman.
Sugar. So Lisa comes in the office when they leave. And she looks through all like their family pictures and looks through all his music taste.
Ah, that is the key to a man's heart, liking the same music as him.
Oh, I mean, that's key to anybody's heart.
Food first. Food first.
Feed that nigga.
Then ladies, play the right song.
Because ladies think like, oh, I ain't trying to cook no more. I ain't got to cook. Well, then take the nigga out. Just feed him.
Oh, yeah, food, 100%.
You win.
But also music.
Yeah, music's nice.
That's why Ali Larter in the other movie put whipped cream on her boobies.
She did.
Food first.
Food first, dude. Let the boys eat. So the next day, Patrick is back, but some other assistant calls in sick, so Lisa's still there.
Okay.
So Lisa's and her and Patrick start talking buddy, and they gossip, right? And then she's like, oh, I'm going to get a lot more info out of you. And he's like, don't you try me, honey.
They're going to get that tea.
So cut to the lunchroom later. Idris walks in to get his lunch. Lisa's crying by herself, bawling. Derek's like, oh, sorry, just grabbing my lunch. He grabs it, and he's about to head back, and then he's like, you okay? And she's like, it's nothing, it's fine. And he's like, you know, most people don't cry over nothing. He's talking. And then he sits, and then she's like, it's just, and he's like, oh, boyfriend trouble, huh? And she's like, no, I can't tell you. You're going to think something's wrong with me. And he's like, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't met the right guy yet. And she goes, all the good ones are taken.
She's saying that.
And he's like, hey, you'll meet the right dude. You'll know immediately. He's doing like some kind of Italian guy. I don't know. That's what he was kind of doing.
He kind of talks that way when he's Charles whatever in The Office too.
Yeah, when he's Charles, it's like, hey, I'm talking like this now. Come on, Jim.
This is my office voice.
I'm in the office. He's like, I swear to God, that's how he's talking. And she's like, when you meet the right dude, you'll know immediately. Okay? And she's like, is that how it was with you and Sharon? And he's like, yeah, it was. It was kind of like that. And she's like, I'm so jealous. You have everything. Perfect husband, perfect child, perfect marriage. And he's like, no, nothing's perfect. You just got to move forward. You don't beat yourself up. You hear me, kid? You stand strong.
You know, he isn't American, so he is doing just a voice.
What he thinks Americans sound like. Any man would be lucky to have you, all right? If I was single, that's what he says. He says it like that, though, jokingly. If I was single, You know what I mean? And she smiles. She's like, oh, you're trying to make me feel good. He's like, is it working?
Exactly.
And she's like, yes. And then she's like, thanks, Deric. Mr. Charles. And he's like, all right. See you later. And then right then, his other homie, like she leaves, and his other homie walks in, the young white dude who was trying to get him to go to the Lakers game. And he's like, what was that? And he's like, man, a boyfriend dumped her. I was just being nice. And he's like, oh, man, that is one nice piece of ass. And Idris like, hey, you're married too. Come on. Like, who is this nice guy? Who is like, hey, bro? Because then I'll be like, hey, bro, why don't you chill the fuck out? We're at work. Like, let me talk about some pussy. And he's like, come on, you're married too. And he's like, yeah, I'm married. But, we all can't be nice guys like you, Deric. He goes, by the way, that girl doesn't want me. It looks like she has you in her crosshairs.
Yeah.
And Idris is like, like what? Like, he's also like, hey, bro, why are you playing dumb?
Yeah, why play dumb?
You
know what? You don't want to act like, because you want to keep flirting without it being a problem.
That's what you're hoping. I like that too. It's like, I just want to flirt, and then that's it. We're flirting at work, and that's it.
Some people want to take it to the next level.
Some people do want to take it to that next level. So the next day, she leaves a CD at his desk, and it's like all a mix of like his music that he likes. Too much. Is that too much?
Yes. What is it? You said it's 2009?
Yeah.
You can't be given mixed CDs in 2009. If it was 2007, 2005, okay. 2009, it's too late. People have MP3 players now.
It was like a file. Maybe it was a file. I couldn't remember. But it was like a bunch of music. And he liked it. Because it was like, obviously, it was the music he likes. And then as he's listening, she's watching him from the desk. And she starts IMing him. And they start IMing about the music. But she looks so happy. Mm-hmm. But to him, he's just like, oh, yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, this is a good band.
She's
whatever.
like totally into it.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, this is it. This is my in.
Yep. So at home, Deric, he's looking at Beyonce, and he's like, hey, which tie, red or blue? And she's like, the red one. And then he goes, what are you doing tonight, honey? She's like, the usual, formula and oatmeal. And then he's like, all right. And then she goes, hey, by the way, behave tonight. He's like, yeah, well, you know me. And then she's like, remember what happened the last time you got to that party and you got home from that party drunk? And then they both look at Kyle. It's always that, by the way, in a movie.
Always a baby.
So she goes, make sure you eat
something. No one ever has children on purpose.
No one
ever watching movies.
No one has kids on purpose. So they make sure you eat something, baby. He's like, I will. Love you. I'll be home soon. They kiss. He leaves. Mm-hmm. Cut to him having beer at a bar. He's waiting on the food. He ordered a burger. Mm-hmm. He looks down the bar. Who's there? Allie Larder. Of course.
Looking fine.
She sees him. Oh, she sees she's got a super nice dress on. She comes over. She's like, oh my God. And he's like, wow, you look great. And she's like, thanks. So she orders burgers too. They eat. Cut to they finishing their meals. They're laughing. They've had a couple of drinks. They're talking. He tells her how back in the day, him and his wife and all their friends, like when the more beginning of the company would come here and just like cut loose after like hard days and stuff. And they're talking and they're laughing. And then she orders them both dirty martinis. And Deric's like, no. And she orders anyway. And he drinks them. It's
weird that they don't invite spouses because you'd think since Beyonce used to work there, they'd be like,
your spouse can come.
You can come.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's like spouses I get, but like, yo, come on. Everybody is like knows her and is cool with her.
Yeah.
She worked there for years. She worked there for like 6 years or some shit.
Yeah. Weird. But then they wouldn't have this alone time.
They wouldn't. So, cut to the party. Everyone is turned the fuck up. Like, oh, this is one of those kind of companies. Like, they're turning up. Lisa is staring at Deric. As she's dancing, you see Deric out there dancing. One of the older ladies, like Margaret or whatever her name is, or Marge or whatever. Yeah, Marge. She's dancing with it. And everybody's like, oh, Marge. And it's like, it's a cute thing. Like, they're and she's like, she's like being sexy. She's like, Deric, I want you, And he's like, all right, come on, girl. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is exactly what you would want. They're having a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then cut to it's Lisa going, ooh, can I cut in, Marge? And Marge is like, go ahead, take it away, honey. And she kind of like scoots off. And then Lisa starts dancing on her, and she's like, hey, Mr. Office Asshole. And he's like, no, hey, Office Asshole. And he's like, that's Mr. Office Asshole to you. And he's like, I can't believe you had me drink 4 of those dirty martinis. So now he's like, oh,
they are smashed.
Yeah. So they're dancing. She's like trying to grind up on him and whoop-de-whoop. They keep dancing, and they're flirting. And then she looks up, and they're under the mistletoe.
How convenient.
And she's like, what, you want to put one on my cheek? And he's like, no, I'm good. It's too late for me. I got to go. It was fun, Lisa. And he walks off.
Good job, Deric.
Yep. I said he's me.
Okay.
He says, all right. He says, his boy's like, where you going? Come on, the party's just starting. He's like, dude, I got to go home. I told Lisa I wouldn't be out too late. I want to go home. It's time. I'm too drunk.
You told Sharon.
Sharon, yeah. He said Sharon. I said Lisa because I want some of that Lisa. I want some of that Lisa, you know.
Lisa.
So, you see he's leaving, and his boy's like, all right. He's like, no, seriously, bro. I'm taking a piss, and I'm gone. Mm-hmm. He goes to the bathroom. As he's sitting there taking a piss.
Why is he sitting?
Like he's taking a piss.
Okay.
Lisa comes up behind him and rubs the mistletoe on the back of his bald head.
Fraggle.
And he turns around. He's like, what the? And she's like, and she tries to kiss him. He's like, Lisa, whoa. And then she grabs him and she like pulls him into the stall. And he's like, stop, Lisa. And then right then somebody else comes in. He's like, shh. And she's like, keeps rubbing up on him and putting her ass up on him and grabbing him. He's like, stop. And he's like, seriously. He's like, dead serious. Uh-huh. Like it is like you feel because he's like, stop. And she's like, and then she goes down to try to suck his dick and he's like trying to hold her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the dude who came in is really drunk. So he's like, hey, somebody's in there. Who's in there? Y'all are having fun. And then he like stumbles out.
Yeah.
And then Deric's like, what the hell's the matter with you? Stop. And she's like, Deric, what's wrong? And he's like, and he storms out so pissed. Mm-hmm. Patrick, the gay assistant, sees him leave like that. And he's like, whoa. And then he sees Lisa follow behind. He's like, living dangerously,
whoa.
I see. And she's like, oh, Patrick, you silly queen, dance with me. And they just keep partying. All right. He gets home, kisses his son. He's flustered. He gets in bed with his wife. And then she's knocked out. Yeah. And she's like, how was it? And he's like, oh, the usual. She's like, anything interesting happen? Nope. She falls asleep.
What's the problem there? You have to tell your wife.
Definitely just be. Also, she's like, what is she going to be mad at you?
You might go through the her not believing you situation. That's the only reason.
But then that's on y'all's relationship.
Yeah.
And then it's like who she is like what happened to her.
Exactly.
Because it's like, yo, why would I just come home and tell you this?
Yep.
Because right when it's like, oh, I'd be like, baby, you won't believe this bitch. Like, I would tell you that and you'd be like, what she did? What? I'm like, yo, like it was insane.
And I would believe you.
Because
and then I would kill that bitch.
My baby. Give me some. Kill that bitch. Kill that bitch. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. So the next day he comes in and he sees her and he's trying to act like he doesn't, but like she's like, hey, morning. And he's like, morning. And he goes into his office. And his boy wants to, like, she comes in and says, hey, she's working for his boy. She's like, hey, your boy wants something by the end of the day with Drew. And he's like, thanks. And she's like, is he always such a ladies' man? And he's like, I wouldn't know. And she's like, oh, okay. She walks off. So he works late that night. Mm-hmm. And he sees her leave. So he works late into the night. But he sees her leave like way earlier, right?
Yeah.
So he comes out to his car. It's like one of the last cars there. And he gets in his car at the, in the garage. It's in like one of the nice garages. Yeah. And he gets in. And then Lisa gets in, like slides in the other door. And she's like, look, I owe you an apology. I took you by surprise. I'm sorry. And he's like, hey, look, we had some drinks. Let's just forget about it all. It never happened, huh?
Yeah.
And then she's like, what if I can't? And his face is like, oh, like just that, like, oh shit. And he's like, Lisa, nothing happened. And she goes, oh, have it your way. Nothing happened. And he's like, what the fuck? Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Right then she opens her trench coat, lingerie.
Ooh, we are the hoes.
We are the sluts.
We are the ones who make a brighter day. So
for all the men.
Okay.
Get out of my car. Get out of my car right now, Lisa. Get out. Deric, relax. No one can see us. And then he's like, Lisa, get out of my... Oh, because she goes, all I could think about last night was your big... And he goes, Lisa, get out of my car. Get out. And she's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. He's like, no, nothing is wrong with you. There's nothing... He goes, And he goes, what's wrong with you? What's going on with us? He goes, nothing's going on with us. I wouldn't jeopardize my job. My wife, get the fuck out of my car. And she's like, fine. And she gets out and she goes, maybe you are an asshole. And she slams the door and he peels off.
Okay.
Yo, definitely tell your wife at this point, right?
For sure.
Like for sure, Sam, right? At this point.
Yeah.
Because you still would believe me if I told you that. Would you still believe me if I told
I'll
you?
be mad you didn't tell me the other part.
So you'd be mad would you be mad at me for not telling you the party part? Or would you
but
not?
I would be mad that you had waited to tell me.
So you would be mad. Like I said,
But
no,
not
but
like
I would
low-key mad, like I'm disappointed in you.
Just because I told you this and I told you now.
Yeah.
Because what if at the party I was just like, yo, I don't know. Yeah, but you would be like, why didn't you tell me that?
Because there was a reason you didn't tell me.
You wouldn't. I don't think you'd believe me. But that's on some like, well, what's going on with our relationship?
What's happening?
So he comes home. Sharon is drinking wine in the dark, like with the phone in her hand.
Creepy as hell.
And he's like, Sharon, I got to tell you something. And she's like, my sister just called. And he's like, okay. She just found out her husband, Terry, has been cheating on her this whole time for years, an affair. And now he's leaving her with the 3 kids. And he's starting some new life with this bitch. Can you believe that? And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe Terry would do that to her. Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, if you ever did that, he's like, hey, I would never, ever. And she's like, I know. He's like, I would never cheat on you, Sharon. She's like, I know, baby. She goes, what did you have to tell me? And then he goes, just problem at work, not important. What's going on? And then they go back to talk about that.
Oh, dude.
So the next day he tells his boy though at work, and his boy's like, Deric. He's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, man. He's like, what? He's like, I can't believe you. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I thought we were best friends. You got to tell me this sooner. He's like, what? You think this is funny? And the guy's like, yes. And he starts laughing, right? And he's like, man. He's like, look, bro, I didn't lead her on a little, not a damn thing. He's like, I got to report her to Human Resources. He's like, damn, you're gonna get her fired? And he's
How
like,
would that work? Also, she would just go to Human Resources and say that you did something to you.
That's what he said. He said, what if she already came? What if she goes to Human Resources and said you came on her? And he's like, and he goes straight to Human Resources. Because you can tell he's like really nervous though. He's like, yo, what the fuck? So he comes to HR and he goes, hey man, I got to talk to you about Lisa, Hank. And Hank's like, oh, the Lisa girl? He goes, oh man. He goes, let me guess. Is it about her performance? Because somebody already complained that she quit.
Huh.
And he goes, really? He goes, yeah. Apparently, yesterday she messed up a bunch and somebody complained about her and she quit. And he's like, huh. He's like, what was your problem with her? And he's like, no problem. I just thought she was in over her head. That's how he said it. And then she's like, all right, well, but if she already quit, I mean, never mind then. He's like, see you around, Hank. He's like, all right, he's like, hey, say hey to Sharon, kiss the baby for me. He's like, oh, we will. And then he goes and he tells his boy she quit. And he's like, man, you are the luckiest bastard I know. Cut to this Christmas, like just an awesome black holiday music. And then you see them celebrating Christmas. Celebrating with the kid, the family. You know what I mean? They're having a good time. Montage. We see him at the job, killing it. He's getting big deals done. Cut to New Year's. Him and Sharon come home at 3 a.m. from a late night, like New Year's Eve party. And he gets a bloop on his computer, like a bloop. Yeah. And he gets an email, and she's like, "Oh, is that the new client? You should check that." He's like, "Oh, it's too late." She's like, "Honey, that's big money. You said it's like one of your biggest clients. Yeah, you should check it." He's like, "All right." And then she goes to like the bathroom, right? She's like, "Yeah, I got to pee." She runs to the bathroom. He opens it. 50 pictures of like Lisa in lingerie pop up, like a virus. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh shit!" He starts clicking out, and he hears his wife washing her hands, clicking out. She comes back. He clicks out the last one. She's like, "Who was it?" He's like, "Oh, I need a new spam blocker." She's like, "Oh, okay." And she kisses his head and she goes to bed. And he's like, the next day, his wife leaves. He emails her, "Hey, leave me the F alone." Yeah. Right? She emails back. Now, this would have scared the fuck out of me. A smiley face. That's it.
Oh, my God.
Sam, aren't you one of the police now?
You know what that's like? That's like in that Dane Cook story about his stalker, where she's like, she sent a picture of herself with no eyebrows, and you're like, okay, that's...
Is that joke out?
Oh.
I mean, that stops it? Like that stops it? I just don't know. I mean, you didn't ruin the joke. I don't know if
I won't say
joke's
anymore.
out on the special yet.
Okay, I feel like a terrible person now.
Yeah, Dane Cook's gonna murder you because all these listeners are gonna somehow. I mean, you didn't say anything either.
But I love Dane.
These jokes are all stories too, so it's like you didn't give enough context.
You gotta go see him at the comedy store.
When COVID ends, whenever that may be, go see Dane Cook when you can. He's still funny.
Also, he's a new comedian now.
Yeah, he's still a dick though.
He's still funny.
He's funny. So Cut to him, our boy, more time passes. Cut to him packing up for a work retreat. And he goes, I'll call you later, honey. I get there. And she's like, all right, love you. And like, she's all happy for him. Mm-hmm. So it cut to all him and all the men on the retreat. And they're all just drinking big cigars, right? And they're talking about getting lap dances. And Idris, of course, is like, guys, hey
guys.
Sharon. And they're like, oh, Sharon got this guy. Come on, got his balls in a clamp. And he's like, she does. And they're all laughing. But it's cool, I guess, because they're all cool with Sharon. So there is like, they're not rude about it that he doesn't want to cheat on his wife. They're more like, we all like Sharon. She's cool. We get it. That's the vibe. It's kind of like how all my friends are with you. Yeah. Where it's like, they're like, because I think about all the strip clubs that I've gone to since I've dated you. But it's never been because like I was like, I'm going to a strip club.
Oh, he went behind my back.
Just on the road. What do you mean? I told you every time.
I know. But my back was turned.
Just turn around. I'm talking.
I don't want to look at you at the strip club.
Would you ever go with me to one?
No.
You respect the ladies too much?
Yeah, I've been to a couple strip clubs, and every time I go, I feel a lot of guilt.
You throw money?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's what they want.
I know that's what they want, but I have mixed feelings about the whole situation. I feel like I just want to write them a check and, send it to them and be like,
sure, they would also take that.
You can just have this, and I don't have to be there for you.
Wow, what a the nicest person at strippers ever. So wait, like, Sam is like, I like that person. Is like, Sam's like, I love strippers, but I don't like to go to the club, so I just write them checks. And
I don't want to encourage the atmosphere of objectifying women. I want those women to make money, but I don't want to be an encouragement to
like their pictures on Instagram.
That's different. That's between me and them. I don't want it, because this is the thing. If you're a girl at a strip club, you're making all the men at the strip club feel like everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
It is okay.
You guys have to feel a little skeevy about it. And that
Why?
should be your cross to bear.
Man, you should have went to the one place that had great Mexican food and a strip club.
I know, you told me that. That sounds awesome.
You come with me to that one? At least for the Mexican
food. For the
food.
Mexican food.
Well, to go to the bathroom, you have to go through the strip club.
That's fine. And that's when I can drop off my check. She's like, who writes checks anymore?
I know. She's like, bitch, now I got to go cashless. You don't know
Hey, there are 24-hour ATMs.
So now you're getting into it with the stripper.
Now I'm getting into it with the stripper. Was like, this is $100 check. I make no money.
Clocks. So cut to all the boys on the retreat. They're drinking, having a good time. He goes to call his wife. Him and his wife are talking about how everyone's wasted, and she's like, "Oh, I bet Joe's too drunk," and he's like, "You know Joe," so she knows everybody. They're laughing.
Yeah.
And then right then he looks up and he sees Lisa walking towards him, and he's like, "Oh shit, baby, I gotta call you back." And she's like, "What? Well, say bye to Kyle before you go, baby. I gotta call you back." She's like, "Say bye to Kyle," and he hangs up. And she's like,
"You
Deric,
didn't say bye to Kyle."
You would have if I hung up on you because you would be like, "What the fuck?
What? This is your son."
That is how you know what, and it's a fresh baby too. So you're like,
it's fresh.
It's too new. It's like, you better do everything. I just pushed him out of my vagina.
That's exactly what it's about. All right. So Allie Larder is
walking
what's she wearing?
Oh, sexy as fuck, little red dress.
At least it's not a jacket.
And then she's like, Deric. And then she's like, was that Sharon? You don't look happy to see me, honey. And he's like, I'm not. Why are you here? And she said, you said you don't want to jeopardize your job. And so that's why I quit. So we can be together. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, are you worried about Joe and Ben? What they'll think, because I'm another like assistant temp. And then he's like, oh my God. And he turns and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy? And as he turns, she puts something in his drink.
Oh.
And she's like, look, I'll tell you what, Deric. Go back to the boys, tell them goodnight, and then you come to my room, 6:10. I'm not coming to your room, Lisa. Fine, I'll come to yours. You're sick. You literally need help. He grabs his drink. He goes back with his friends. Mm-hmm. Cut to later in the night. He's fucked up. He has that, how the weekend looks when he walk around in that video where he's like all fucked up in the Super Bowl halftime show? It's like that now. Like that kind of like, he can't see anything. And his boy's like, you sure you don't want to keep partying with us? He's like, no, I got to go to bed. He's like, all right, well, we got the big meeting, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, 9 a.m. He goes in his room. He just stumbles. He passes out in his bed. You see the door open up.
How'd she get a key?
She got a key.
This woman is scary.
This woman is scary.
Okay.
She gets on top of him. He's like, what do you do? Hey, she's like, oh, my baby. She starts kissing all on him. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. And then he's fucking gone, though. And she's like, does that feel good, baby? Does that feel good? Passes out.
Yo, she's going to rape him like Raja Ghul's daughter raped Batman.
Yeah, you always bring that up.
It's really something people need to know about.
Well, she stabs him in the movie. That's also pretty harsh.
I mean, it means more to me that he got raped by just some.
The rape is bad, but I don't know. Me making love to you and you making me think that like you came and you enjoyed it and we're dating and then you stab me, that's way worse.
Oh yeah, that's way worse. But it's insane. I don't know. I guess it's way worse.
I know rape is because but male rape is like that. It's like at least you're the one inserting.
But he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. That's fucked up. And now your wife's never gonna believe you because you didn't tell her the first couple things. Like now there's no way she believes you now.
Yo, and 100% Allie Lauder goes and gets a rape kit done after she after she rapes him.
Would you, even if this was me, would you believe me?
How's it coming up? Is it coming up that she's pregnant, or is it coming up like she called
However
me
it comes
told
up
me?
at all.
It really depends on how it comes up. If you come and tell me like, "Hey, this happened to me last night,"
I don't know what happened to me.
To say that I don't know what happened to me, but this woman came into my room.
I don't know that she came into my room. I don't know.
I think she did.
I don't remember.
Is
anything.
that how I'm finding out about it?
No, he doesn't remember anything. Just so you know, the next day he remembers nothing.
Jesus.
She drugged him. It was like straight up hangover.
So
shit.
if it's coming up like it's some kind of lawsuit against you, I don't know. Because now I don't know what to believe. That's crazy.
That sucks for me too, because I'm like, yo, I would never do that.
I know you wouldn't, but you haven't told me all these other things. So it's like, well, what else have you been lying to me about?
I know, and it's like, fuck, I never lie. This is what a Valentine's Day gift.
I know. Happy Valentine's Day.
I gift you guys this movie. So the next morning, it's 9:30 in the morning. Housekeeping wakes him up, and he's like, oh shit, big meeting.
Yeah.
He runs downstairs. He strolls in the meeting, and then the boss is like, well, thank God you showed. He's like, sorry, I overslept. So, meeting goes on. He's back to getting work. He's writing notes and shit. During the meeting, someone comes up from the hotel and says, excuse me, sir, your wife is here? And he's like, oh, shit. Joe, I'm sorry. Sharon's here. And he's like, all right. And he runs around. Well, he doesn't say, excuse me, Joe, someone's here. I got to go. And Joe's like, all right. He's like, I'll be right back. He runs out. And by the way, the sweater he has on, amazing.
What is it?
It's just this nice sweater. I've always wanted.
Is it a V-neck?
No, it's a little V-neck, but not deep, like right here. And it's like a light blue. And the way, I don't know if it's I want it or how it looks on him. That's the problem. But he's in a sweater, and man, he looks good.
He is Idris Elba.
So the guy goes, here's your wife, sir. It's Lisa.
Of course.
And she's like, oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry I wasn't there when you woke up. I figured, she's like, I was at the spa, but I figured you want to get out of that meeting. And he's like, what the fuck do you think this is? And she's like, the morning after. Last night was perfect. Nothing happened. And then she's like, oh, honey, don't cause a scene. He's like, you know what? Let's cause a scene. Let's go tell everybody that you're a crazy person and that you're here and what you're doing. And he grabs her and he starts walking her towards the door. And then she's like, stop. Don't do this. Don't do this. He's like, there is no this. There is no this. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like a stranger? He's like, that's what I am to you. A stranger, Lisa. And then he's like, if we're going to go in there, you're going to tell them all their lies right now. And she goes, hey. She goes, what about everything? And then she lists all the things that he did. When he looked at her, when they touched hands, when they all these moments, right? And then she goes, and that you said that if you were single, you'd be with me. And he goes, I never said. He's like, you said that. You said that if you didn't have to be with your wife, you'd be with me. That's what you said. That's what you said. And he's like, you see his face get all nervous, like, fuck. Because then, now you hear that I said that, Sam, and I'm like, I did say that, but then you
I didn't mean it like that.
But would you believe me?
Dude, I don't know what I would think. Because I'm finding this all out at once. It's the problem. You get all the information at once instead of over this course of time.
Yeah, which then you'd for sure believe me.
Yes.
If I'd have told you from the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you'd been like, oh, this bitch is like fucking stalking you.
Yeah, that's
like, let's
crazy.
call the police.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, shit. And she goes, fine, you want that? Let's go tell him the truth. Let's go. Let's walk back in there, Deric, and tell him the truth. And she goes to walk in and open the door. He snatches her and goes, hey! And she goes, do it. Do it. Hit me. You can do anything you want to me, Deric.
What the? Who is this person?
Is that not really hot, though?
That's horrifying. Because also she's already so hot, and then she's
Imagine beating the shit out of her and she likes it.
Oh, she would. You know what, Allie Larder, you know what makes her so hot? She seems like the kind of chick that, she plays volleyball. You know, like Jessica Biel?
She definitely plays volleyball. Yeah.
You know how Jessica Biel looks like she plays basketball?
But they're hot. They're hot, though.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Super. I like that. I like that version of them. I can see it.
Yeah, they have that those shoulders that's like, I play a collegiate sport.
But look at my body.
But look at my body.
I boom. So he goes, you know what? You know what? It doesn't even matter what's in your crazy brain. There'll never be anything between us. Ever. And he goes back into the office. She's like, Deric! Deric! She gets super pissed and walks off. So the boys have lunch. They ask Deric if he wants to keep drinking. He turns them down. Right?
He's never drinking again.
He goes back to his room. He opens his door. Lisa's knocked out in his bed. Oh, my God. Lisa. He cuts the light on. Lisa, get up. Lisa, get up. And he goes, he's like, I'll drag you out of here. And he grabs her and pulls her, and she's completely limp. Lisa, there's an empty pill bottle on the bed. Lisa, no. He calls 911. I need help. This bitch just fucking took a bunch of pills into my room. Please, come. He starts doing CPR. Bitch, you better breathe. He's saying that shit, right? Cut to the gurney coming down the hallway. His boys are like, Deric, what the fuck? He's like, I'll call you. He goes to the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. Later in the night, Sharon calls his other homie. She's like, hey, Ben, I'm so sorry to call you so late, but I can't reach Deric, and he always calls, and I don't know what's going on.
Oh, my God.
And then she goes, I was hoping he was with you. And he's like, Sharon, there was kind of an incident. And she goes, oh, my God, is he all right? Is everything okay? He goes, yeah, he's fine. I think he should tell you himself. And she's like, Ben, you're scaring me. Yeah. Now you don't believe anything I say, because now you're finding out like you were worried about me.
Yeah, I was worried about you, and I'm so confused.
Right? Cut to the hospital. Mm-hmm. He's waiting. You see Idris Elba. He's waiting to see if she's okay. They say she's still not awake yet. Mm-hmm. Sharon shows up. Mm. He's like, hey. She's like, oh, my God, Ben told me you were here. Oh, my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Hey. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Right then, the detective shows up. And she's like, Deric, we need to talk to you. And she's like, Deric, what the hell is happening? And he's like, honey. And she's like, the detective's like, well, I've gone over your statement, and I just need to talk to you and clarify things. Do you want to go somewhere in private? And he's like, no, this is my wife. And she's like, in private? Deric, what the Now she's like, if you're her now, how do you feel about me?
I'm like, what is happening? Although you want me to be there for it, so now that's kind of like...
That's reassuring a little bit, huh?
Reassuring. Okay, so what happens next?
So they go, so this young woman, Deric, she worked in your office? He goes, yeah, she worked in my office a couple weeks. And then Sharon's like, the temp? And then what'd she do? And then they're like, ma'am, Mrs. Charles, I need the story from your husband, not you. Like, she's a detective. Yeah. Like, ma'am, I need you to be quiet if you're going to be here. Yeah. And she's like, well, apparently I need the story myself.
Because I'm Beyonce and I'm a whole lot of woman.
Sugar. So he's like, nothing. She worked 2 weeks and that's it. And she's like, well, in those 2 weeks, that's long enough for her to fantasize that there's an affair going on between you. That's what you're saying. And then he's like, and then Sharon's like, what? And she's like, no, look. She came on to me at the Christmas party, but I said no. And she's like, what? And then the parking lot, she came in the car at the lingerie, and I said no. And then, at the hotel, she showed up, and then Sharon's like, what the fuck is going on? So, okay, now, Sam, do you believe me?
No, I don't believe you.
You don't believe? It's me. It's Deric.
Yeah, but this is all coming out. This is the worst circumstance for me to take in this information.
Really?
Yes. Because also, I don't know any of this stuff. So I am in front of a cop. So now I'm like, am I supposed to act like this is all true to help you with your story?
Yeah, I'm your husband. We have a kid.
But I'm just hearing it for the first time. So the cop asked me like, oh, so you knew all about this? And am I supposed to lie and be like, yeah, I knew all about this?
Damn, that's true.
I don't know how.
I would be like, I never told her. But he says that too. He says, I never told you because I was embarrassed, honey. I was embarrassed, Sharon. I was embarrassed. I didn't know what you think of me, okay? And then, so, he says all this, and then she's like, but there is no affair. And he's like, but I mean, something happened. I mean, the woman tries to commit suicide naked in your bed. And Sharon's like, naked in your bed? And she goes off. He's like, honey, there's no affair. There's no affair. This woman's crazy. She made it all up in her head. Really? And Sharon starts going off. You fucking lied to me about this. You lied to me about that. You said nothing was going on. I've asked you a million times. No, like, what do you mean? And then, right then they go, ma'am, we're going to need you to leave so we can talk to your husband. He's like, no, she's not going anywhere. And then Sharon's like, did you have sex with her? He's like, no, I did not have sex with her. And then she's like, honey, I need us to not fall apart right now. Please stay with me. Stay here. Right then the doctors come out and they say she's going to be fine. She woke up. She's like alive. They're like, all right, good. And they go, and we got enough about her. We got enough out of her for an emergency contact. And it's his number. And she's like, I'm out. And she storms out, Sharon. And she leaves. Right? So, Oh, he talks to the cop, and the cop's like, he goes, look, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. And the cop's like, look, I don't care if you're doing the girl or not. He's like, I'm not. I'm literally not. Like,
yeah.
Also, the cop should be able to see it in his face. Like, yo, this guy's panicking. Like,
this is insane.
He goes, I never have, I never will do it, right? So they pull up, they leave, they drive home. Sharon doesn't say anything. They pull up to the house. They're like, she's like, Sharon, Sharon, can we talk? Sharon. She goes and she starts doing there's a bunch of dishes. She starts doing all the dishes angry, and then she breaks some. He's like, I just want to talk, Sharon. Yeah. And he's like, what? He's like, Sharon, you know me. I don't know you. I don't know you. I knew the Deric who promised he was going to tell me everything on our wedding day. That's the Deric I know. And he's like, and she's like, what, Deric? And this was a good point. She said, if I wouldn't have gone to that ER tonight, would you ever have told me? I don't think you would have.
Oh, no, he wouldn't.
Is that how you'd feel too?
I would feel that way.
It's me, though. It's Deric.
I know. You keep saying your name.
Because that's his name. I'm Idris Elba.
When you wrote it down, did you write it the Deric that's
No, I wrote it how it's spelled like his.
Okay, but not like how you spell yours.
Because I'm the only one like me.
Yeah, but you'd think it would be easier to spell your own name 100 times than to just keep writing.
No, because I don't want this nigga thinking he's me.
Okay.
We're kindred spirits, though, in a way. Other than he's an idiot. I would have been told you all this shit.
He spells his name wrong.
And he spells his name fucking like an idiot. So he's like, yes, I would, Sharon. That's bullshit. And she's like, I was wrong. I can't believe you. And then he's like, I didn't know what to say, Sharon. I didn't know what to say without looking. What, guilty? And he's like, you think I encouraged this shit, honey? Bullshit. I saw how you operated with this girl. I saw how you operate. I saw you operated with all the women before you started dating me when I was just your secretary.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Telling him Beyonce.
Yeah, and he grabs her, though. And he's like, Sharon, this woman is sick, Sharon. Sick. I feel like you don't believe me then. Like, saying, like, look at me, bro.
I don't know.
Why am I so hard on this story?
I don't know. Also, in this situation, you're Idris Elba, and I trust you even less.
That's true. I'm not Deric.
No.
The most awesome, sweet guy you've ever met.
I know.
That's my baby. So she goes, they fight more. And then he's like, Sharon, please. And she's like, get out of my house. Ooh. He's like, Sharon, what? He's like, this is crazy, Sharon. This is crazy. He sounds like a homeboy from Goodfellas. Karen. And then he's like, can't you see what's happening? Nothing happened. And she goes, well, I don't give a damn what happened. Pack up all your shit. Put it to the left, to the left, to the left. She says that. No, she didn't say that. She should have said that, though. And she's like, and get out. And he's like, and go where, Sharon? And go to hell. But until then, maybe the 4 seasons. And she storms out.
Whew.
Sharon! So the cops come the next day to talk to Lisa in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And the cop, it's a woman, and she's like, so you feel like talking about the other night? And she's like, yes. Have you spoken to Deric? And she's like, yes. And she's like, is he okay? And the cop's like, yeah. She's like, well, when can I see him? And the cop's like, that's not possible, ma'am. Mr. Charles doesn't want to speak or have any contact with you. And then she's like, well, then why would he send those? And then it's flowers, and they say they're like from Deric, and like, I'm sorry, and I love you, and all that stuff. And the cop's like, huh? And she's like, they're lilies, my favorite. And she's like, okay. She goes, Lisa, can you tell me what happened? She goes, not much to tell. He asked me to meet him at his hotel, and I agreed. And then she goes, and of course, you know. And she goes, what? And she goes, you know what happened after that. She goes, what happened? But we slept together. And she's like, okay. And she goes, well, Deric denies that. She goes, oh, he's just trying to protect me. And the cop's like, okay. And she's like, yeah, the next day he said his wife, he wanted to get a divorce and he tried, but, his wife wouldn't let him. So he was going to break up with me and that we couldn't see each other anymore. And I overreacted in his bed. But that's why he's saying all that. He's just being noble. He's thinking about his son, Kyle. And that's why he doesn't want to break up with her. It's the whole thing. And the cop's like, Lisa.
What?
The cop's like, Lisa, how would you characterize your relationship? Well, we're lovers. So you believe he's in love with you? Well, I mean, I'm not a homewrecker. I mean, his marriage is over. He's told me 100 times. And I do feel bad for his wife. Finding out your husband loves someone else. I mean, I hope she doesn't do anything stupid.
What?
And the cop is like, right.
I hope she doesn't do... What do you have planned, Allie Larder?
Also, this cop's a bad cop, right? For not knowing that, oh, this guy definitely didn't do this.
I don't know. Because as a cop, your immediate thought is this big black man probably... I think you're forgetting what the cops are like. I think they're gonna probably take the white woman's side.
Yeah, they're taking this white bitch aside all the time. You're fucking facts.
Also,
Sam's talking facts today.
Also, she's a lady cop, so she's gonna be like, "Oh, rape. That makes sense."
It does make sense. So Deric talks to his boss, right? And he's like, "God damn it, Joe, I didn't do any of this." And he's like, "Deric, calm down. We just, we can't be, you got to tell me if something happened. It might ruin our business." And he's like, "Look, dude, nothing happened. Nothing." And he's like, "All right, well, just take time off until this blows over." He's like, "I'm not losing clients over this." Right then the cop comes in, right? And the cop's talking to him, and he's like, "No, I didn't send that girl flowers." Like, what? Like, what the fuck? No, I didn't send. He's like, she said you did. He's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Well, she must have got all my information when she temped for me. She knew how to do that." Like, and he's like, I definitely didn't. She goes, "What about this diary that we got from her?" He's like, "What?" And she starts reading it, and it's all these graphic sexual encounters they had.
Whoa.
And he's like, "These are all lies. These are lies. I've never been to her fucking apartment. This is bullshit. Right? This never happened." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Detective, you seem smart. You can't believe this." And she's like, "I don't know. The only thing that matters, sir, is she believes it." She goes, "But look, apparently her sister came and got her. She's living in San Francisco now. They flew back today." And he's like, "Okay, good." And Deric's like, "Good. Maybe she'll get the help she needs." Cut to montage. Deric picking up Kyle from the house. Beyonce pissed off. And like they're living in separate places. All right?
This is a really long movie.
No, it's only an hour, like 30, 40 minutes.
I know, but just like the way that the pacing of it is long.
Yeah,
like all the things that have to happen.
So it's all the tropes. I told you they have to hit them.
Okay.
So, time passes. We see him working, trying to get back in with a job. We see Beyonce studying for school. More time passes. He's picking up. Her resolve softens as time passes.
Yeah.
So finally, another day passes. He goes and he drops his son off. And she goes to close the door and he stops it with his foot. And he's like, "It's my birthday next week, Sharon." And she goes, "Well, happy birthday." And she goes to close the door. "Sharon, you're going to make me spend my birthday alone? Have dinner with me. Come on." She smiles and she's like, "Move your foot, Deric." And he does. Right? And then, again, I must say, the sweater he has on, dude.
The man knows how to dress himself.
The man can dress himself. Cut to Beyonce getting dressed for the date night that they're about to have, and she looks beautiful, and that song's playing. "I'm taking my own freedom, putting it on the shelf. I'm putting it on the wall. I'm taking my freedom." You ever heard that song?
Sounds
Putting it
familiar.
in. "I'm living my life like it's golden. 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 Golden. I'm taking my own freedom." That song goes hard, bro. I told you the soundtrack of this movie. I'm just like, damn, every song is a banger, All Mary J. Blige. It seems like she curated the soundtrack. So they go out to dinner. Sharon, he's like, "Man, this means so much to me. Thank you. I missed you, honey. There's so much I want to tell you." And she's like, "Well, it's your party, birthday boy. I'm just Beyonce, a whole lot of woman." And he's like, "Look, I just want to be home. It's been 3 months. I'll do it. It's been 3 months."
It's a long time.
It's a long time,
Spending
bro.
a lot of money on hotel rooms.
Yeah. "I'll do whatever it takes to make it work, Sharon. You name it, I'll do it." And she's like, "Look, I want to give you something." And she pulls out a box. But she's like, "But we'll see how the evening goes first." And he's like, "Okay." Cut to the babysitter at the house. The doorbell rings.
Ah!
Who's there, baby?
It's Allie Larder again. Why is she everywhere?
I thought she was in San Francisco.
Put your clothes on.
Get those whipped cream off your tits. And then it's Lisa, and she goes, "Hi, is Sharon here? I'm her friend, Kate." And she's like, "No." Well, she's like, "Oh, she told me to drop by tonight. I got a gift for her son, Kyle, And she's like, and then she just kind of barges in, and the teenage girl's like, "I'm sorry, but you're not supposed to be here." She's like, "Look, I know you're worried, but I'll call Sharon and let you know it's fine." She picks up the phone. She looks like she called somebody. She's like, "Hey, what's up, girl?" "Yeah, it's me." "Oh, I didn't know you were going to dinner tonight." "Oh, I'm sorry." "Okay." No. I just talked to the babysitter. I had to struggle to get my way in." "No, don't be mad at her. She's doing her job." And the teenager's like this. And she's like, "Oh, you want to talk to her?" And she holds the phone out, and the little girl's like, and she's like, "Oh, you don't have to." He's like, "All right, well, talk to you later, girl." And she hangs up. And she's like, "All right, fine." And the teenage girl's like, "All right, cool." And she goes back to watching TV. She runs upstairs with the baby.
What?
We see her upstairs holding the baby in the dark. And then she's sitting in the chair with him and like cuddling him. And back at the dinner, Idris says how like, "Yo, nothing happened with that woman." And Beyonce looks at him and she's like, "Oh, Sharon, I love you. I love you with all my heart. I love my son with all my heart." And she's like, and she holds up the gift and he opens it up. It's a key to the house.
Cute.
And he's like, oh, I guess the date's going good. And she goes, oh, I'll be going real good if you give me that key. And it's the key to his Benz. And he's like, the Benz, baby? And he's like, of course. And she's like, ah, and they laugh and they like get on a joke and they're black. You know, it's awesome. So they drive home holding hands.
Yeah.
And they're all happy. We see Lisa leaving the house. And she's like, all right, thank you. And the babysitter's like, all right, nice to meet you. And then she leaves, right? She doesn't really get up. But you see her like rush out.
Yeah.
But she's from far away, so you can't tell. So they get home. And then the babysitter's like, oh, you guys got back so fast. And then she's like, you literally just missed your friend Kate. And Sharon's like, I don't know a Kate. Like, yeah, Kate. She was just here, literally. She said she was here for Kyle. You saw someone went upstairs to see Kyle? Yeah, but you said it's okay. Oh, my God. They run upstairs. Oh, my God. But you said it's okay. You literally on the phone. You said it was okay. Kyle's gone. Kyle's not here.
Yo. Okay.
Are you mad at me now, or do you believe me now?
I'm so mad at you. How dare you kill my baby?
You're mad at me, Deric?
How dare you let this get this far? This woman abducted my baby. Now my woman mother skills are coming out. I'm a bear.
Now you're Liam Neeson.
I'm Liam Neeson. That's what happens to women when their kids, are in danger. They lift cars.
You're right.
They become Liam Neeson or the Hulk
or Beyonce.
So
oh my gosh, you took my baby, call 911. They call 911. Idris is running around the house looking crazy for his son. He goes outside and he's like, this bitch couldn't have got far. She couldn't have got far. He gets in the car. He turns it on. He turns to back up. Kyle's in the back seat with a lipstick kiss on his forehead.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Cut to, he's like, Sharon, he's in here. They rush him to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Okay? They get him checked out. He's fine.
He's fine.
Right? And then he's like, they call the cops. She's there and they're like, oh my God. They're like, ma'am, she was in our house. I thought you said she was in San Francisco. And they're like, we did. Oh my God. And they're like, well, how did she know she was out? And the cop's like, she must have been watching you. And then Beyonce looks at the cop and Idris and she goes, well, one of you better do something or I'm going to figure it out myself. Because I'm Beyonce.
And I'm a whole lot of woman, sugar.
And so Idris says, yo, find this woman. She had my son. And the cop's like, oh, we will. So they get home. They're nervous as shit. They go in the bedroom. It's been ransacked, right? And Beyonce's like, oh, this bitch never left. A family photo's broken. Beyonce's cut out the picture.
Jeez.
B picks up the phone and calls the Lisa girl's phone. Like he has her phone number. Leaves a message. Listen to me, bitch. You know who this is. You came into my house. You touched my child. You think you're crazy? I'll show you crazy. Try me, bitch. I'm Beyonce. And I'm a whole lot of woman. Cut to the next day. They install a security system in the house. Idris wakes up at night. Yeah, like a ring, like all that kind of shit. Idris wakes up and he's terrified and he checks on his wife and his son, right? He looks outside and there's a cop car patrolling. So apparently the next day, B is going down to her mother's house to San Diego. All right? So I think they live in LA with the child. Deric's going to stay the night and then because he's got work all night. Yeah. And he's going to meet them there early tomorrow morning.
Perfect time for Allie to sneak in and seduce him.
At work, Patrick gets a call, the assistant.
No, not Lisa. Patrick.
And Lisa, he's like, hey, girl. And she's like, he's like, oh, my God, what's it been, 6 months? He doesn't know anything that's going on. And he's like, oh, my God, they're talking. And then she's like, you want some real gossip? Derek's about to leave his wife for me. He's like, no, he's not. What? Derek's literally going down to San Diego with his wife tomorrow. And he's like, no, he's not. He's literally leaving her. He's like, no, he's not. Sharon's leaving today. Derek's meeting her in San Diego tomorrow. You got your facts wrong, girl. He ain't leaving his wife for you. And then she's like, oh, well, I got to go. Bye. He's like, wait, Lisa. And she hangs up. Patrick also should have been like, that was weird. I should at least let Idris know what just happened.
Yeah.
So Beyonce sets the code to the house. She leaves. She gets in her car. She's like, oh, she forgets her purse. She runs in, disarms the code, grabs her purse, leaves, forgets to arm it again. She gets in the car. She's driving. She says, all right, honey, me and Kyle, I'm not me and Kyle. I'm on my way to pick up Kyle, and then we're going to be on our way down to San Diego to see my mom.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, all right, that's fine. He's like, you set the alarm? And she's like, oh, shit. I left and I didn't set it the second time. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And she's like, no. Let's be careful. I'm going to go back and set it, and then I'll go get Kyle. And he's like, all right, well, just call me when you're on the road. And she's like, all right, I will. Love you. He's like, love you. As that happens, Lisa breaks in So she's in the place. We see Lisa twirling in the bedroom, 2 glasses of champagne in her hand. She's touching and smelling Deric's clothes. Beyonce comes in upstairs. You see her settling rose petals everywhere.
Yeah.
Beyonce's like looks and she thinks she hears something. You hear a cork pop. Pff. She pours the champagne. She lays in the bed, right? Beyonce comes upstairs, busts in the door. Lisa pops up. She's in Deric's jersey, right? And then Beyonce goes, "Did you not get my message?" And she's like, "Look, oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't want you to find out this way." And she goes, "I know how hard it is to see someone fall out of love with you. I understand. It's okay." And then Beyonce's like, "You really are fucking delusional." So did you believe me at this point?
Yeah.
So you'd have believed me the whole time?
She's in the house.
Oh, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, this bitch is crazy. Also, I know where you are.
And I know everything we've been through these last
And
3
I
months.
told you I'm going back to the house. So if you didn't want me back at the house because she was going to be there, you'd be like, "Oh, babe, don't do that. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, you're right.
You'd have pushed it.
Yeah. All I said was just call me when you're back on the road.
Yeah.
You fucking so right. This bitch is trying to kill. This bitch is crazy.
This bitch is crazy.
So she goes up and she's like, Beyonce's like, "You know what? I should fuck with you myself, but I'm gonna have the cops deal with your crazy ass." And she goes to go grab the phone, and the Lisa girl grabs her. She's like, "Don't touch me!" She throws her. Lisa jumps up. They start fighting.
Nice.
"You crazy bitch! Get off me!" She breaks a lamp. Lisa grabs the lamp, tries to stab Beyonce with it. She misses.
Whoa.
Idris calls. So Idris calls the house, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't got a call from her yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" I felt like she would call me back when she was back on the road. And to get Kyle. And then she doesn't call. So Lisa runs over, answers the phone, and she goes, "Honey, Deric, is that you?" And he's like, "Lisa, what the fuck are you doing in my house?" Bam! Beyonce punches her and grabs the phone and goes, "Deric, I'm going to have to call you back," and hangs up.
Ha!
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. So Beyonce grabs her and she throws her around. Idris calls the police and he storms out heading that way, obviously. And then she goes, "I'm about to wipe the floor with your skinny ass. I'm Beyonce." And then she says, "Didn't I say don't come back to my house?" And she's punching her and Lisa's slapping her fists away trying to fight back. Beyonce almost throws her off the balcony. Lisa turns her around and now tries to throw Beyonce off the balcony. Beyonce stops her. They keep fighting and they tumble down the stairs. Lisa tries to run back upstairs. Beyonce goes after her. She turns and she kicks her in the face. Busts Beyonce's nose.
Oh, poor Beyonce.
So she's bleeding.
No.
Right? The girl runs upstairs. Beyonce comes up. She's looking for her. She doesn't see her. She's walking around slowly. She goes into the attic. She still doesn't see her. I also must point out, I forgot, in this whole fight scene, everything's been going on, Beyonce has heel boots on.
Nice. She would.
She so would, wouldn't she?
She's about to go on a 3-hour drive. Yeah, I should wear some heel boots.
Heel boots. 3-hour drive down to San Diego, 4 to 5 hour drive if I'm including traffic.
Yeah.
And stops with because I have a 1-year-old, so I'm
I
having to
gotta
stop
stop to change the diaper and stuff.
and kiss him and hug. I gotta just stop all the time.
Heel boots. That's what I'll wear.
So, she goes upstairs. Right then, you see a piece of wood swing 2x4, swing at her. She misses. She swings again, misses. Finally, the girl hits her right in the leg. Beyonce screams. Right? Beyonce, she keeps swinging. Now Beyonce backs up and she realizes she's on the attic. Remember in the beginning of the movie?
Oh,
There were
weak spots. Yeah.
So she's backing up, but staying on the plywood in her heel boots. Homegirl keeps swinging and missing as Beyonce is talking trash as if she's Spider-Man. Come on, that's it. A little closer. Come on, girl, keep swinging. Come on, you almost got me. Almost got me. You're like, what? Aren't you a mother?
No, I'm Beyonce. I'm from Houston.
I'm from Houston, girl. So she's swinging. She gets closer. Finally, Beyonce swings. Beyonce grabs the wood, pulls her. She falls through the weak spot.
Nice.
She catches herself, right? She's screaming, and Beyonce looks down, and she feels bad. And she's like, "Take my hand. Take my strong hand. Take my Beyonce hands." And then Lisa takes her hand. She tries to pull her up. Lisa uses her other hand to try to pull Beyonce through the roof.
Oh, wow.
And Beyonce's like, "You crazy bitch." And she's pulling Beyonce through. And Beyonce's like, "You crazy, get off me." And then Beyonce pulls her off and she falls, right? And Lisa catches the chandelier and then slips through and then falls and lands on a glass table.
Ooh.
And she's like, and she's still alive, right? But she's messed up.
Yeah.
Right then the chandelier, bang, falls and kills her.
Whoa.
So Beyonce comes out the house. She's all bleeding and messed up. The detective shows up, and the detective's like, I swear to God, just the one detective, by the way.
It's the same lady?
Yeah. And she goes, what happened here? And Beyonce goes, you know what happened. I don't have to say, because I'm Beyonce. Say my name, when no one is around you.
Say, baby, I love you if you ain't running game.
Say my name.
You acting kind of
crazy. Ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change? Say my name.
when
No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You ain't running game. Say my name.
You acting kind of shady. That's the
Ain't
word.
calling me baby.
Better say my name.
Ooh, when I call and you alone, and baby, when you and I pick you
That's how
on my
the movie
phone.
ends. They play that song.
It should. This song is that for this movie.
That works. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So Idris Elba runs up, right? And he's like, baby, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. They hug and kiss. I want to run, smash into you. From the I Am Sasha Fierce album plays, that song. I want to run and smash into you. It's like a slow song like that.
Okay. I kind of skipped the slow ones.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. Sorry, B.
That's not why I'm coming. I want Sasha Fierce, not Sasha
Yes.
feeling like she's
Chill.
about to cry.
Yeah. Sad. Sasha's sad.
Sasha's sad face. Anyway, they kiss, camera pans back, obsessed.
What a movie. Mine was better. I'm not going to lie.
Yours was better. Yours had a little more depth, a little more character arc.
Well, also, we have some motive for why she's doing all this.
Lisa's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't like this because we don't understand. Has she done this with other men before in the past? Like,
We
is
don't
this
know
a reoccurring problem with her? Did some guy break her heart and she's like reliving that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine was way better.
Yeah, yours. That actress now can like really have some sadness and like some. As the viewer now, you feel for her.
Yeah, you want to have some empathy for your villain.
I have no empathy for this villain. This villain's just crazy.
This movie really bothered me too. In that
what?
In that the it's mostly supposed to be about how these two women. There's a wife and there's an obsessed woman and then there's Idris Elba.
Yeah.
But still, almost all the conversations in the movie are just among men. Like somehow they took a movie that's supposed to be predominantly about women and still made it all about men.
Yeah, big time facts. Also, apparently the director, so you wouldn't get confused, cast them in different colors, so you would know one's good, one's bad.
Exactly.
Obsessed, dude.
Obsessed.
Is it everything you wanted though? Is
No,
it the
I
roller
wanted
coaster
what
you
I
needed?
described. What I described, I was looking forward to watching.
Yours was a movie. This was a roller coaster, not a movie at all. Literally a roller coaster.
I'm glad that Beyonce was in it
Me
because
too.
she's a whole lot of woman.
And Idris carried it, as you said.
Yeah, I figured he did.
And Lisa, you're hot.
Yeah, I mean, Ali Larter, she's good in what she does. I mean, I literally...
She was good in this.
I
It
can
made $1
only
trillion
remember her
bucks.
being in the Varsity Blues, this, and Heroes. So I wonder what else she's done.
We can be heroes.
Ooh.
Me and you. Yo, $20 million budget. It made $73.8 million at the box.
Okay.
That's not include, and then you include all the times it streamed and sales like that. Oh my God, this movie killed it for itself.
Well, I remember the advertising. They really put a lot into that. Who's Steve Shrill? Is that...
Steve Shrill is the director. I wanted to see if it was directed by a woman, and it was not.
Oh, it didn't seem like
It was directed by a man from England.
No woman would direct a movie where it's like, let's make the woman
Yeah, they would.
crazy.
Have you seen What Women Want?
Yeah, that was directed by a woman, wasn't it? Or
Nancy
written by-
Scott.
Yeah.
Never forget that. Dude, she's the OG.
Okay, you're right.
I'm always right. See you later, Bean Mafia.